Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped and welcome to this week's Midweek 180. Hey, listen, ready? I don't want to tempt fate here, but I think my cold has finally done one. I'm feeling miles better this week. My nasal passages and sinuses are a bit clearer and I'm speaking normally and everything. So I am feeling much, much better, but a big thanks to all of the lovely messages wishing me to get well, basically. But yeah, I do feel much better. Anyway, loads to talk about this week. If you've not seen one of these before, this is my midweek update where I bring you my news, views and information about upcoming reviews, all filmed in one take. First thing we need to do is get some housekeeping out the way. So leader of the pack last week wasn't a whole bunch of bots, which seem to have been infecting lots of my video comments recently, was Michael Kember. Well done, mate. Joined in the Magnificent Seven by Paul Mead, Leanne Jackson, Rod Matheson, Gary Matthews, Anthony Finch and Watch Commander 2012. So whoever puts the first comment this week, you'll be my leader of the pack next week, and the first 7 comments will be in my Magnificent 7. Where are you and what you're doing? Well, that was Jack Gartland, who said he always starts his 12-hour night shift with the Midweek 180. Mate, 12-hour night shift, you must sleep a lot during the day because I'd be asleep after about 2 hours, I think. But wherever you are right now, and whatever you're doing, put it in the comments below and I'll give you a shout out next week. Last week's question was about hot laps. Quite a few of you agreed with me about the World Rally car in a forest stage. There were some great suggestions. And I then had a brilliant one that I'd only just thought of. I don't know whether you've seen it, but I'll put a link in the description below. Just Google Subaru hot lap Isle of Man. Because way back in 2016, Mark Higgins did a lap record around the Isle of Man TT course in a Subaru time attack car. And it's amazing, and I think to be sat in that car would be one of the most terrifying things I can think of, unless it was something like the 919 Tribute Evo going around the Nordschleife, which would be scary as well. This week's question, is petrol going up near you? Because I've noticed over the last few weeks that the cost of filling my car up, or cars, is going up and the cost of fuel is going up. I'd love to know what the kind of petrol prices are around you. Have you noticed a rise in fuel prices? It's not good at all. Formula One at the weekend from Miami. I'm not going to talk about the sprint race at all. I'm just going to talk about the main feature race and Lando Norris getting his first win in Formula One. Honestly, I mean, all you have to do is look online. There's not a bad word to be said about him. And if I put a post up about him winning and I look at the comments in that, and every single comment is positive and supportive of Lando Norris. One of the nicest guys in Formula One. Amazing to see him win. But what was more amazing, I know the safety car came out at a fortuitous time for him and it saved him some seconds, probably 10 or more seconds. However, once the safety car had gone into the pits and the race had restarted, he pulled away from Max Verstappen and showed good pace and a lot of promise. And I think Piastri was unlucky. He was showing promise as well until he had his front wing damage. So for me as a McLaren fan, I watched that race with a huge amount of excitement for the rest of the season. Now the next race is at Imola, the Emilia-Romagna race. It's in a couple of weeks' time, the 19th to the 17th of May. We not celebrated, but remembered 30 years since the passing of Ayrton Senna and Roland Ratzenberger just a few days ago. So to go back to Imola will be quite poignant, I'm sure. I still can't believe it's 30 years since we lost those two. That weekend will stay in my memory like it was yesterday. I remember exactly watching that race, exactly what happened that day, and it's incredible that it's such a long time ago. Formula E is this weekend though, at Berlin, round 9 and 10. I will be cheering on my mate Ollie Rowland. Come on, Nissan. So if you've got that on pay-per-view, great. Otherwise, just have a look on YouTube because they'll put race highlights on afterwards. 2 cars to talk about this week. The first one is from Ferrari. It is the replacement to the 812 Superfast, and its Italian name is Cilindri. Or as most people are probably calling it, 12 Cilindri, or the 12 cylinder. It's the replacement to 812 Superfast. Underneath the bonnet is an 820 brake horsepower, naturally aspirated V12, 7.5 litres, and it will do 217 miles an hour. But for me, I looked at that car the second I saw videos dropping about it, and it just reminds me of the Ferrari Daytona, it's just a beautiful car. So I think it looks spectacular, but really, really interesting is I've watched a few of the videos now, the reveal videos, and the car they're using on the reveal videos, it's on Michelin's. And that's very, very unusual. Normally you would expect a Ferrari to be on Pirelli's. So I found that fascinating, actually. And then the other car I want to talk about, which is also on Michelin's, was released by my good mates at Podium Place. Now, we've been filming the podcast at Podium Place for over a year now. And I've been going there for a long time. And in the background, and where we film the podcast actually, sometimes you'll hear the workshop underneath, and we've not really been able to talk too much about what's happening in that workshop. But basically there is a partnership between Podium Place and TWR. In fact, it's Fergus Walkinshaw, who is Tom Walkinshaw's son. Tom Walkinshaw, the legend of Jaguar racing, the guy who got the Le Mans 24-hour title back to Jaguar. And they've been doing something very, very special, which broke cover finally last week. The V12 Super GT called the Supercat. And this thing, I'll put some pictures up while I'm talking. I saw renders of this a while back now, and I've been so excited for people to see it because it just looks incredible. It is the ultimate Restomod. It's got over 600 horsepower, supercharged V12, 6-speed manual gearbox. Now, they're only making 88, and the prices will start from £225,000 plus taxes and so on. So clearly it's a very niche market car, but I think for what they're producing, that is an incredible number, especially if you compare it with, I don't know, something like a Singer. And some really cool people behind it. Kazil Salim, I think I might have said that wrong, but never mind. And also Magnus Walker. So Kazil and Magnus have been collaborating on the design work, knocked it out the park for me. And I will be doing some stuff on the Supercat on the channel soon. In fact, I've got a call about it tomorrow. So the next thing I want to talk about is exciting news here at Petrol Ped headquarters. I'm getting my dream garage. Let's go outside and I'll show you what we're doing. Now, if you've tuned into any of my videos I've shot at my house over the last 8 years, you may well in the background have spotted that, our cart barn. Now, we've been living here now for 12 years, and when we moved in, we had outline planning to turn that into an enclosed garage, but for lots of reasons haven't proceeded with those plans until now, because work starts on this literally next week. And I'm going to document the build on the channel because I have always wanted a dream garage, and that's exactly what we're going to get. Now, I must admit, my Hendy Group long-termer and Lady P are looking very cool in there indeed. Let me just spin the camera around and I'll try and explain what we're going to have done. So we've got 3 bays. Basically, we're going to enclose the front of the barn. The right-hand bay will be an entrance downstairs, and then we're going to put a mezzanine floor in, so we'll have 2 floors. So downstairs will be the entrance on the right-hand side, and then I'll have a double bay garage. And then above, I'm finally going to get an office space where I can set up a bit of a studio, and then a nice open area where I can have my gym equipment and so on. So it's going to be a really nice space to do some cool filming of podcasts and so on. And then the front, as I said, will be enclosed with some nice doors. So lots and lots of work to be done there, but we cannot wait to get going. It's been a long time in the planning, but I think it's going to be very, very cool indeed. So stay tuned for updates about that. And then the last thing I want to mention is this Friday at 6. A couple of weeks ago, I went up to Yorkshire with Jeep for an off-roading adventure in the new Grand Cherokee and the new Wrangler, the model year 24 cars. And this Friday's video is basically, it's quite a difficult film to make because it was a big convoy and we spent the whole day driving around the North Yorkshire landscape, which was just beautiful, by the way. But yeah, so hopefully you'll enjoy that. We really did put the cars to the test. So tune in on Friday at 6 for that. But that's about it, really. What a beautiful day. The next thing I've got to do, by the way, just to keep you informed, I've got the new Tiguan from VW, which I need. I've been driving that this week. I've done about nearly 700 miles in that car. So my job this afternoon is to film a review on the Tiguan, which should be good. But for now, I'm going to love you and leave you. If you enjoyed that, please give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol Ped for plenty more content to come. And I'll see you on the next film, which is this Friday at 6 o'clock for Jeep Adventures in Yorkshire with the Grand Cherokee and the Wrangler Rubicon. So I shall see you on that one. I'm just going to spin the camera around and say goodbye to the Petrol Pooch and the Petrol Pup. See you on the next film, guys. You take care. Drive safe.